unlike anywhere else I've ever experienced. I'm so scared. I genuinely would say you can't miss this. It's so amazing. Okay, so I'm in the car. I'm slightly terrified, I'm not gonna lie. Here we go. I'm doing it. I'm just gonna be in the slow lane for the next hour. This car is so much bigger than mine. Oh, I've just realised it tells me the speed limit. Yes, because I did not have a single clue. It's fine so far. Oh, what lane am I in?
Ready?
Yeah.
Alright, then we can go outside. My name is Jānis. That's a pretty common name here in Latvia. So, first of all, Cēsis, this town you have arrived, is the third oldest in Latvia. People from the Western Europe were going on holy wars, known as Crusades. And so the Germans decided, let's go to the Baltics instead of the Holy Land. Easier to get there. And so, starting with the late 12th century, they started to organize first missions to bring the Christianity first to Latvia, then to Estonia, and they tried to Lithuania as well. In 1206 we know that the German missionary named Daniel arrived here. And since he was a priest, I'm dressed like a priest as well today.
So is that's a priest outfit?
Chaplain of this castle.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow, very cool.
This is more like a 16th century style, because what do you see today is mostly from 16th century. So come here to this picture. Where do you think we are standing in this picture?
Ooh.
This is castle in the 16th century and this is castle in 21st.
Like here?
You think over there?
No.
Let's say you are right. It's more specifically here.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
you are close. Basically, this is the southern tower closest to us. That one is the western tower with the red roof.
Right.
Then there is the northern tower, but that's hidden from the view right now. But don't worry, it's still here. And that one is with the scaffolding around.
Right.
And this one is that with the Latvian flag flying up there.
Right, okay.
Because this small gatehouse was turned into this manor house we have now. Or as we locals simply call it, New Castle of Cēsis. Not the New Castle of England, of course, or Old Castle and New Castle. It's from 18th century, because that's when the medieval castle was abandoned and some parts were used to build this new palace or manor
so they
house.
reused some of the materials.
Yes. This is the actual birthplace of Latvian flag. We have a nice legend how the colors originated. There was a battle where the ancient Latvian warrior was wrapped in a white sheet and both parts painted red with his blood and the middle part where he lied on stayed white. This red and the white flag been used here by the locals already back in 1279. And we are proud that that makes the Latvian flag actually the third oldest flag in the world. What else is interesting around the castle? Like you see, there is a moat. And how do you think? Was the moat always like today? Or was something different?
Probably water in it.
That's the common guess, but not in our case.
Maybe some sharks, no.
That sounds more like it. But actually the moat was, of course, a bit deeper, but it was not filled with water, neither sharks. It was filled with something what's coming out from the sewage.
Oh
so
no, that's worse.
Yes, it was a bit smelly, the moat. But they decided the sewage is good enough, because back in the 13th century, like I said, the Latvians became the Christians first in the Baltics, but all our pagan neighbors did not appreciate such Christian fortress built here and tried to take it out for several times in its history. But for 300 years, no luck for any of our pagan neighbors. Wow. And I guess moat helped to keep them at a distance.
Yeah,
you know,
they could smell it.
Yes, they thought, no, we won't take this castle. Yes, and since the moat had no water in there was no need for the drawbridge like you've seen in the movies. And how do you think? Who lived in those colorful tents?
Ooh, maybe the star? Like animals?
That's a bit even further. But no, for soldiers, actually.
Oh, okay.
Also, they had a garden. We will see garden reconstructed. that's how our castle looked from all of its directions.
Wow.
So you have a complete picture. Quite a typical late medieval castle built by the German Crusaders in 4 sections. Tower in each corner. Oh, except for the eastern corner in our castle, because that's the place where they had their chapel. And this is my 7th year
Oh, wow.
already.
Ooh.
Yeah, I started some 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That's where they had their wooden castle originally.
Okay, okay. So people lived in this one?
Yes.
Right. And then that one was just defensive?
Yes. At first they built the western tower as a square one. In the 13th century when they started, they needed the tower built very quickly. So the square shape was easier at that time, but the round shape is better. What was the reason?
Because you can see more.
Very common guess, but there's something even more important than that. They decided that the round shape is better. You know, if round cannonball strikes the square tower, wherever it strikes, it blows the piece out of the corner. But if no corners to destroy, the cannonball might be just deflected and it's harder to destroy. But how about the future? Are you gonna restore the castle? And when I say no, definitely not, people are surprised. Why? How come? No money, or what's the problem? And money is a bit of problem, but the main thing is, since the castle was not frozen in time, we cannot restore it. Because if we restore it, we are restoring it to one particular point in its history. But since the castle was gradually changed during the 300 years in its history while it was inhabited, if we restore it to one point, we have to remove something which was added just 50 years later. But that's history as well. So nowadays, instead of restoring, our main focus is on preservation and keeping it as authentic as possible.
Right.
Okay, sometimes people said yes, but wouldn't be nice to have it restored, would be nice looking. Yeah, would be nice, I agree. But instead of making artificial, like a forgery of history, we can do something better than actually restoring it. Some parts which are now missing, we can restore in a virtual version of
Right.
the 3D images, projections, but that's for the future, because right now, unfortunately, not enough money for that, but that's our plan. And not the bowling ball for some visitors sometimes like to guess.
Yeah.
No, not for that, but for the shooting. Approximately 80 kilograms. Usually they had just some small amount of the balls to start the siege. Get the ball back, we can use it for a second time.
Is that what happened with this one?
Most likely.
Are these the actual ones?
Yes,
found?
these were used in the 16th century by the Russian army
Wow.
when they besieged our castle. For a very long time they've been lying in the ground, and then rediscovered in the 1970s in archaeological research. Here you can come around and see a nice picture how the siege of that time might have looked like.
Wow.
And these huge balls were shot by these special siege mortars, shooting the ball up in the sky, and then the ball falls from the sky. In century here we have discovered evidence what kind of herbs, spices, vegetables were growing back in those times, and we are trying to replicate that here. An actual garden tended by our gardener who is over there. She is working very hard to make it growing here.
Many people celebrate this night, midsummer. Many people picking plants made the crowns. This is most popular. How many colors in one plant?
But we don't have a name in English for that.
Yes.
That's okay, I can look at the picture.
This is Estonian national plant. This is very popular plant in my garden, this medieval garden. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗿𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 solution, then try a small leaf and stay approximately 10 minutes and this nice remedy vines go out. If you picking some branches and put near the door, protecting from witch and devils. This is
yeah.
vine.
Thing. Can you guess what is the purpose of this?
Ooh. Does it like spread something?
Yes, you are right.
So like maybe something goes in here and then comes out.
You are right.
Like a shower.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yay!
Shower for the garden. I will show you how it operates. So I merge it in water, and you can see the air is coming out by the bubbles. And now it's filled up. Yes, something, it's not fully, but it works more or less. Yes.
Oh, that's so clever.
Yes, the Middle Ages were not as dark as people like to think. No, no, no. And sometimes people are so impressed by this shower little flask here that they ask, can we buy it? And for that purpose we have souvenirs made like this, possible to buy at the entrance.
That's so clever.
So, Middle Ages cleverness. You can bake bread, sometimes they say pizza as well. And how do you think, how would they operate this? Since there is no chimney, would they make smoked bread? Or is there something different? How do you think?
Ooh.
I like to quiz people about this.
Maybe underneath?
No.
Maybe just set fire to everything around it.
That's a good one. Actually, the thing is, they first heat it up when the fire is gone and the smoke is gone, but the heat is still inside there. Only then they put the bread in. Basically, they preheat it.
Right.
And not bake it while the fire is still making some smoke.
That
only
sounds
after.
That sounds much more practical.
Yeah. Again, like I said, medieval people were very practical people. Unlike in 21st century.
Yeah. They kind of had the smelly bit at the back and then kept this bit nice.
Yes, they separated. So that was this part was for the guests, and that part was for unwanted guests. Superstition from the pagan times that if it's the first time you cross a bridge in our country, then you have a unique chance to make a wish to yourselves. And there is a catch. You cannot say that wish out loud.
Okay.
Keep it as a secret. So, and since this is the first time for you to cross this bridge, so you have this unique chance.
Okay, I get a wish. I won't say it though.
You want to say it? No, don't do it. If you want to make it happen, then keep it to yourself. Keep it as a secret. And trying to sneak up through the toilet shaft, which has actually happened. Ivan the Terrible arrived to take our castle himself. Very dark place.
That is terrifying.